everybody. This is Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Welcome to your reading. I've got the Halloween tablecloth out. I've got the skull with the flowers and the spider webs out for you guys, and my orange candle to get ready for the season. 'Tis the season to be jolly for all the witches out there. Witches and so witches and wizards. So let's go ahead and get into it, everybody. Today's reading was a subscriber request reading, and it is called Career and Studies, What You Need to Know. Okay, so whether you're studying something new right now or you're asking about your career, something you're studying, we're going to be looking at, are you on the right path? What's ahead? And what you should be doing right now, okay? And something tells me that you guys are all soon going to be doing something that's very good for you, even if it's just a small thing, like getting to the gym or drinking some tea, or, after we cleared that energy of that Libra new moon, and the poor Libra new moon, I don't even mean to blame it so much on the Libra new moon. It was more like the Sun-Mars conjunction, square Pluto. I mean, it was more that. And the Libra moon, the new moon, just got caught up in it, I feel like, and caught up with that Mercury retrograde, Sun-Mars conjunction, square Pluto, in conjunct Uranus. It was a big old mess, and it may still feel like a big old mess, okay? I feel the energy has lifted a little bit. I noticed for me, I always feel things like a few days, I feel like, before the collective. Like it's like I sense it in the air, like winds in the east, and then maybe I get through it a little bit maybe faster because I started earlier. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm like a weather ball, you guys. I feel like that sometimes, like I'm a weather ball. And I know a lot of people who watch this channel are also like very sensitive and empathic and witches and wizards. So I'm sure you guys were feeling the onset too as well. So now that is coming, I mean, the sun is still conjunct Mars right now. It's not like, it's really shifted too much yet, but eventually it will. I do feel like some of it is a little bit more under control. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your guys' reading. So I have pile number 1, which is the Serpentine stone. I have pile number 2, which is the Rainbow Moon Aura Quartz. And I have pile number 3, which is the Labradorite. So try not to pay attention to my nails. I have to get them done soon. They look horrible right now. Hopefully you guys can get past that, okay? But I can hardly get past it, but hopefully you can. So let's go ahead and get into the energies, and whatever you're feeling today. I'm reading with some decks that I haven't read for a while with, and so that's exciting. I love to be able to kind of read with some different decks and get some different energy going on. And let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. I'm sweating today, you guys. I was in a sauna earlier and I worked out, so I'm kind of sweaty. Maybe my voice even sounds a little bit different, probably because I got rid of a lot of ickies that were in my head. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's do it. Let's get it going. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the Serpentine stone, and today's question is career and studies, what you need to know. And we're going to go ahead and look at the oracle cards first here and see, what's the current energy around whatever you're studying, because not everybody has a career yet. Some people may be studying, or you may have a career and also be studying, or have a job and also studying. So we'll be looking at the oracle cards here to see what energy is currently around you, and then we're going to ask the questions. Are you on the right path? What's ahead? And what should you be doing right now? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the beautiful, wonderful, amazing, ravens in my pile number ones. All right, maybe some of you guys like ravens or have it as an animal totem, but definitely feeling that raven energy in your pile. Maybe you have raven colored hair, pile number one. All right, maybe some of you guys like Edgar Allan Poe. If I have to sneeze, oh yeah, here it comes. Ah, thought I was gonna sneeze. Oh my God. Pile number one. I was outside yesterday, and ever since then, my allergies have been a little crazy. If you can relate, let me know if you have seasonal allergies as well. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, for my beautiful pile number ones, let's see what's the energy around this for you right now. We have the Mystic. I am spiritually wealthy. So maybe some of you guys here are mystics, and you have a spiritual business, or you'd like to have a spiritual business, or you have a artistic side to you. But even if you don't, it says here that you are spiritually sensitive, unconventional, transcendent, intuitive, introverted, illuminated artist, ingenious and intense, imaginative, revolutionary, rebellious, and mysterious. Pile number one. Okay, and I love the swan. She's on the back of a swan here. But isn't Saraswati in Hinduism, doesn't she ride on a swan? You know, all the gods are like on top of animals. Isn't she on a swan? I was just thinking of her as being very creative, that creative energy. Also, this card is associated with Ketu, which is, you know, can talk about your past lives. And, you know, Rahu, Ketu, for those of you who are familiar, North Node, South Node. This talking about the South Node, some of you guys having many lifetimes as a mystic, many lifetimes as a healer. And yeah, maybe some of you having very healing hands here. And some of you could, I see her, it's like she's trying to put on a bracelet or take a bracelet off, and the clasp is really hard to deal with, like a piece of jewelry, which is interesting. Yeah, and she's like, won't this get off my wrist? You know, so I feel like when you guys are talking about your career or what you're studying, this is something that you've done in the past, whether it's in this lifetime or other lifetimes. This is something that you can easily be good at or easily fall into because you've done it many times in the past as well. We have Scorpion and Caution. Well, just because we did something in the past doesn't mean that it's necessarily good for us now, okay? And right, so just because we're good at something doesn't mean that it's like the right path for us. And I think that's something that took me a while to figure out, pile number one as well. I mean, I had a corporate career for 20 plus years, and I was good at what I did, and I had a very technical job, very, very technical. And, you know, it wasn't like an HR or anything like that, and nothing against HR, but you know what I'm saying, very, very technical materials. And I was good at my job, but just because I was good at it didn't mean that it was the right path for me. So maybe we're talking a little bit about that. We have teacher. All right, so some of you, this is very interesting because I feel like some of you, this is only going to resonate for a few of you, but I want you to be careful about the teachers that you let teach you, okay? And you're very sensitive, you're very artistic, you're very transcendent, and you're revolutionary, you're rebellious. So if you have a teacher that is on your ass all the time, if you're studying or you're at school or you're studying something new, I'm not saying, like some of you guys may have various mentors or teachers. I'm not saying that, you know, everyone is like this. Every teacher that you have is horrendous. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Spirit is just saying here, if you are taking a class from someone, if you are asking someone to mentor you, sometimes there's only so far that individual can take us, and then our work is kind of done with them, you know? So that's the other thing. People show up as a powerful teacher, and sometimes horrible teachers show up to teach us, that we're sovereign and that isn't the, you know, and oftentimes a horrible teacher will ruin a subject, you know, for the student. And that's really a shame because the subject could be a beautiful subject, right? So maybe some of you guys had something that you studied in the past that you really loved, that you really enjoyed, but a shitty teacher, you know, upset you or ruined that for you. Or I see her, like her face has this strong expression. She's closing her eyes and she has her hand up like this, like stop, right? So some of you guys maybe just didn't like the way a certain teacher or mentor was talking to you. And this could be going way back into your past, like when you were in school, or it could be, you know, it could be someone that you've been taking classes from or learning from very recently, okay? So just be careful about what you take in, pile number one. You're very sensitive, and some teachers are with us for a short time and then they're gone, you know, and that's okay. Like we can still bow to those teachers. It doesn't mean they're a bad teacher, okay? But some of you may be needing to realize that it's very challenging for you to learn from a particular person because they're just not resonating with your energy, okay? Or they remind you from something hurtful in the past that you experienced. We have truth, we have justice, right? So, yeah, I think some of you have definitely had experiences with people that were very unfair to you and tried to get you to fit into the mold and tried to basically belittle you or even be belligerent with you to get you to kind of fall into line, right? And the problem is that it says here, you have to remain authentic to your core values. All right, truth, justice, all of that, okay? And we have number 44 here, or card 4. So yeah, talking about truth can be masked, so be objective when dealing with emotional issues. Address areas in your life that are not achieving your deepest truth. Okay, so if there are teachers, maybe some of you have to stand up and say, hey, I don't agree with that. You know, this truth is saying it's important that you find your voice because your input is needed, all right? And sometimes we have a tendency, if someone's in a position of authority, we just kind of back up, right? I mean, people should be given respect, right? Pile number one, but you have something important to say. I feel pile number one, and you have to stop, you know, you need to stop holding that back, I feel like, okay? I see the peacock feathers here in the background too. So peacock is all about that unique kind of showing, you know, showing your unique truth, all right? Within the next few months. All right, so some of you are in a position right now with a mentor or a teacher or a job or a boss that has been trying to teach you something, and you're just, for whatever reason, the energy has rubbed you the wrong way and you're not feeling it and you just don't want to hear it, and you're just, this person grates on you and they're demanding, they grate on you, their energy is not for you, okay? And Spirit is saying, you know, within the next, I don't mean to mean it's not for you, it's just, it's not helping matters right now, pile number one. It could be a boss too, all right? And within the next couple of months, there's gonna be more truth that comes out about this person or this situation, or you're gonna see things more for what they are. And I think it is important that we take all of our teachers and we put them under a microscope. And every teacher is gonna have biases. Every teacher is gonna have certain ways that they do things that may not be right for you. Okay, pile number one. So I think some of these truths are coming up here within the next couple of months. We have clairsentience. You are able to pick up on energies and emotions from other people. Yeah, so being around really abrasive people that bark orders at you in a certain way, pile number one is gonna be very upsetting for you. That's not gonna feel good. We have self-love. It's not being selfish. Put your needs first, okay? So this person may be like, well, I need you, or I need you to do this, and this could be work too. You know, we need to get this done, right? A lot of fear. a loud bark, you know, lots of fear in the air. We have to do this, and I need you to do it, right? You're the only one that can do it, and you're just feeling besieged. I feel like pile number one, some of you are ready to throw down the gauntlet with this truth thing, or you've been ready and you're like, yeah, I'm about ready to say something, you know? We have your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon, all right? So one thing I think you should think about is, I don't think you want to throw this whole thing away, like what you're doing. I'm getting the sense that you don't want to throw the whole thing away, right? You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's 4:20 on my clock right now. Spark went up, pile number one. But I'm getting the sense you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And you're like, well, you know, because you've come a long way with whatever it is that you've been doing. And I think you're just feeling like the word from my corporate career that comes up is pain points, right? It's like when you got pain points or things in your body that hurt, that wasn't what it meant in the corporate world, but people would always ask clients in such a gross way, what are your pain points? You know, I always hated that corporate lingo. But anyway, like your commitment to truth and what's right for you is being tested right now. It doesn't mean that this isn't a good path for you or that you can't do well in this path. It just means that whoever is being demanding on your energy, not teaching you the wrong way to do something, someone that has it out for you, etc., that you can feel this already. You've already been responding to it. Maybe you have been having weird pains in your hands or your body in some type of a way already, and you know that, and maybe this person is asking you to do a lot, you know, help, volunteer. Like if they're your mentor, maybe they want you to volunteer all these hours and you don't have them. Maybe if it's, you know, if it's at work, they want you to take on all this extra work, but you can tell that this person is just barking orders at people because they're, you know, in fear. We have abundance. All right. So some of you guys are waiting in the next couple of months, more opportunities for abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire into this physical reality. Okay. So your commitment to a dream that you have, to a truth that has lived inside you for a long time, is being tested, pile number one. And sometimes these negative teachers come around to show us that, yeah, like we still want this. It's just that we don't want it with that person, you know? So yeah, we have Merkaba. Ooh, that's cool. The frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well. Yeah, your Akashic inheritance with K2 and past lives. You guys have an Akashic inheritance, all right? You have a skill set that is uniquely yours, that is yours to claim. And it's helpful to have mentors to help us grow, but is it the right one? Is it the right teacher, okay? It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. Okay, so I do have a reading on this channel called Activate Your Merkaba. It was the first reading that I did on this channel. So if you haven't watched that yet, you can go and watch that, and talking about your Merkaba. And the Merkaba is essentially your chariot of ascension. It helps you traverse the realms and travel safely from one realm into the next realm. So yeah, to help you go from point A to point B, right? And a good teacher will help us do that. They will help us achieve our goals. But the wrong teacher is going to make us feel like we hate something that we know we actually love, okay? So think about that, pile number one. We have Legacy of Light. I love that. Here's your Akashic inheritance right here. You know, here's your ancestors, here's you. And for those of you that have children, or here's your younger self or your inner child here, here is this legacy of light right here. All right. And that's part of your Akashic inheritance. Okay. Pile number one is a legacy of light and bringing forward the truth. Even though you run into people that are going to test you. They may test your patience, They may test your commitment to the thing that you're actually doing. All right. But it's part of your legacy. Like a teacher doesn't have the doorway to literally everything that we can do. It can feel like that at sometimes when they come into our world, that they hold all this power. But pile number one, you have an Akashic inheritance with this already, okay? And there is a future of abundance for you here, okay? So interesting, pile number one. Let's ask the question, are you on the right path? Are you on the right path? Maybe some of you guys just had shitty teachers in the past that turned you off to a subject, but now you want to get back into it, okay? And something about your Akashic inheritance here. Are you on the right path, pile number one? We have the 5 of Cups. So with this current teacher or with this current setup that you have right now, I mean, I don't really think there's a wrong path, but there's paths that make us suffer a little bit more or cause unnecessary suffering. And I feel like, you know, this path that you're currently on is draining you. You know, it's draining you. It doesn't feel good anymore. It doesn't like resonate with you. It's draining you. And it's taking something that you actually love, rainbows, butterflies, between these 2 of Cups, it's taking something that you actually love and making it feel very rotten, okay? What's Bonnie Rotten? I don't know why. Bonnie Rotten, okay? Is that a porn star, pile number one? Sorry if I don't know. But spiritually, maybe somebody here has initials BR or has a first name Bonnie, but anyway, that's so funny. But anyway, just that rotten energy, that rotten ass energy where it's just like, yeah, this is not feeling good to me anymore. Okay, so as things currently stand, I don't think, it's not that it's the wrong path, it's just that it started off with good feelings, I feel like, or high promise, but the, love fest is over and now it just doesn't feel good, okay? So whatever your environment you're in now, or whoever is directly above you, or whoever is teaching you or mentoring you right now, and whatever you're asking about, you're needing a different path here, okay? With that, it's not the thing that you're learning, it's the environment, okay? Pile number one is what I'm thinking here. Let's go ahead and see what's ahead for my pile number ones. 9 of Swords. So if you stay on this path, this current path that you've been on, it's going to leave you, I feel like, with a feeling of what should I do here? As you go deeper into this wormhole, and you open up more and more doors, I feel like some of you are like, well, I don't know what to do, and I think what's ahead, if you choose to stay in this situation, I think you're gonna feel that something doesn't feel right to you. If you choose to leave this situation, I think you're gonna be like, well, what do I do next? Now I'm worried, now I'm scared, now I don't know what to do. Now I feel a little bit adrift at sea, because at least before I knew like where the place was at, okay? Even though it sucked, like I found a place there. So I think, there's this 9 of Swords is going to have to be dealt with, because it's going to come up whether you stay or go in this situation. And one is more about the anxiety of going deeper into this, or the anxiety of stepping away from the particular situation and having to face like what's next, okay? So that's a necessary step sometimes, that's a necessary step in working through the energies, right? But it's better than being in denial. It's the denial is the hardest part, right? Because it's like something doesn't feel right. I'm not getting what I need in this situation, really. I feel fucked up about it in a way, but there's safety in kind of showing up the same place every day. I know who this person is, right? There can feel like there's a sense of safety there, but I also see you guys really having to confront a little bit of anxiety here, or just a little bit of, well, what do I do next, right? Because I feel like for some of you, it wasn't easy to find the teacher that you have, or it wasn't easy to find what it is that you need. And you know, they always say when the student is ready, the teacher appears, but that's the most fucking annoying statement. Pile number one, that is so annoying. I hate that statement. I mean, it's fucking true. I know it's true, but it's also annoying for someone that really wants to learn and their heart and passion are totally in it, but you know, that teacher that they sought out, or that whatever mentor that they sought off, isn't the right one for them anymore. Like, I think maybe it's time to go deeper here with someone else. Okay, so let's go ahead and see, what should I be doing right now? What should pile number one be doing right now, Spirit? What should pile number one be doing right now? We have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so get excited about, you know, something new that can come to you. Get excited, get that sense of freshness. Yeah, I don't know like how this is all going to work out in the end, you know, and there's going to be moments when I'm not sure what to do, but I'm excited about starting something else here, because I don't like where I'm at, or I don't like the vibe that this person's giving me, and I got to live my truth. And some of you guys are going to be with this next few months and abundant. Some of you guys may be getting some really cool ideas, like on your own accord. And I think it's going to be good for you to get excited about that and follow that thread. Okay. Follow your excitement is what I think you should be doing right now. If something feels like drudgery, heaviness, bullshit, that isn't for you. Okay. We need to air out the energy, and we need to kind of go back to square one and think about why you love this in the first place, right? Why are you passionate about this in the first place? Why does this matter to you in the first place, right? And kind of get back to that new beginning with the Ace of Wands. It's a passionate new beginning. And the Seven of Cups is on the bottom of the deck here. So, you know, there's the Dove of Peace, and, you know, you're going to have a lot of options in the future. You're going to feel bountiful, okay? You're going to feel artistic and bountiful and comforted, I feel like, pile number one, okay? And there may be like a lot of decisions to make, or you might feel pulled in different directions emotionally, etc. But it's better than being in stagnant waters, okay? And I think what you guys are really trying to go for is the Six of Cups, because we have the 7 and the 5, and somewhere in here is the 6 of fucking Cups, okay? Sorry, I'm swearing a lot in your reading, pile number one, but I'm like, here it is. Yeah, here's the 6 of Cups, you know? It's like halfway through the pack here. So, and Temperance is next to it, and so is the High Priestess. So the 6 of Cups is really what you're looking for at the end of the day. And the Temperance is a fabulous teacher. And look at the Queen of Swords next to the High Priestess. Okay, smart, intuitive, doesn't take shit. I feel like this is you, right? Justice is an appropriate mentor for the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is smart, she's aware, she's open, she doesn't suffer fools. The High Priestess is sensitive and deep and knows all, okay? And is it a magnificent teacher if you can find her? She's not easy to find. And Temperance is a beautiful teacher, all right? And it's unicorn and rainbows, and it's exciting. And I think the 6 of Cups is what you're shooting for in Temperance. If you yourself are doing card draws at home and you ask yourself, is this a good teacher for me? Is this a good mentor for me, etc.? If you draw Temperance or the High Priestess or the Queen of Swords, those are very good signs for you, pile number one. That's a sign that you're on the right track, that you're going to be excited, you're going to be happy, and you're going to actually learn. Look at this Queen of Swords. Look at how much learning is coming through her crown chakra. So much learning, okay? It is very possible for you, but we gotta kind of realize when something isn't working and be willing to, be willing to get into a state of maybe being a little bit uncomfortable about that, or having an uncomfortable conversation with someone and saying, hey, I think I'm gonna, dip out here. Okay. So, and the Nine of Swords can be a little bit of worry or anxiety about a conversation. I remember when I quit my job, I was like, I wrote everything down in a notebook. I practiced what I was going to say. I told myself, just stick to what you have. Don't say anything more. Don't say anything less. Be very well, thank you for this opportunity. Be very emotionless in a way, but very professional, and very calm and peaceful about what you're deciding to do. So that will help, manage the anxiety if some of you are having to tell someone, hey, look, I don't really like this anymore. But the thing I think is, you do like what you're doing, or it does resonate with you on a deep level. You just need to get in with the right person, okay? Or find the right situation that works for you. All right, pile number one. So I hope that was helpful for you, my loves, and I hope that you found that intriguing. I found your pile very intriguing, pile number one. You guys intrigue me, so thank you so much. And leave me a message if that resonated for you, and let us know what you're going through, okay? So thank you so much, pile number one. And let's move on to pile number two. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the Rainbow Aura Quartz, and today's reading is called Career and Studies, What You Need to Know. So if you're studying something new, or you have a job or a career plus you're studying, or you're just studying, or you're just working, we are going to get some information about your careers and your studies right now. We're going to look at what's the energy around this for you, first with the Oracle cards, and then with the Tarot cards. We're going to ask some pointed questions and ask, are you on the right path? What's ahead, and what you should be doing right now, okay? And this was a subscriber request, so thank you for suggesting, and let's go ahead and do it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the wonderful energy of my gorgeous pile number twos. Pile number two, there's nothing to be nervous about. We don't have a care in the world. It's Friday, pile number two. We're gonna take a deep breath and let any tension in our neck, shoulders, jaws, we're gonna let that go right now. Okay, pile number two. So let's go ahead and get into it, my darling lovers. Let's do it. Spirit, what do you have to tell about pile number two about their career and studies that they're working on right now, please? We have the Great Nurturer, the Moon. All right. I give and receive nourishment, motherly nurturing, devoted, loving, wise, empathetic, compassionate, abundant, generous, receptive, inclusive, supported, and stable. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of people that may depend on you, or may need you where you're at, pile number two. And maybe some of you guys do have jobs or careers, or you're preparing to study in a profession or in a trade where you are gonna be a protector, a comforter, where others are going to depend on you. Maybe some of you have your own businesses or want to, and you're gonna have employees who are gonna depend on you for their income, right? That's a big responsibility. Or, there are people that you work with that you wanna protect from people that are, that are mean to the younger ones, or that, I just feel people flock to you, pile number two. They can tell how you are, and they flock to you because they feel a sense of protection and comfort from you, okay? So that energy is, even if you're just self-employed and you work by yourself, I mean, your clients then are feeling that sense of protection from you, right? Because I am getting this sense of feeling very enclosed and protected. Or maybe that's a feeling that you need right now. You need that in your environment with what you're doing. You need to feel cared for and protected, all right? So it's about giving and receiving, right? We have dove and forgiveness. Wow, 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 gentle. Easy does it, pile number 2. Easy does it. Oh, butterfly. How lovely, pile number 2. Wow. Okay. So, you know, I talked a lot about you protecting other people and being there for others, but I also see what's evolving here is you receiving some of this back yourself too. And whatever it is that you're studying or doing right now gives you an opportunity to grow as a person, to work through any issues of the past, to come to a sense of peace and forgiveness. And instead of the word forgiveness, I like to use the word peace, you know, because forgiveness implies a whole bunch of other people and rehashing the past. And it's not like we have to actually go to those people and be like, I forgive you, I absolve you, you know, in the name and the Father of the Holy Spirit, right? It doesn't mean that. To me, I don't even really, I'm kind of like not with that word. I'm more about peace, all right? So you guys want to be able to evolve in peace, which means wherever you work or whatever it is that you're doing, there needs to be emotional safety. There needs to be a healthy container. There needs to be a sense of camaraderie. There needs to be a sense of, I got your back, you've got my back, and we can count on each other, okay? And we have celebrations and social occasions. Are you concerned about commitment? Do you have fears around social situations? Would you like to break free from anything that's repressed, okay? So maybe some of you guys are trying to get out more, you're trying to do more, and you're trying to enjoy yourself a little bit more these days, okay? And maybe some of you guys are taking up certain careers or taking up certain studies so that you can be with like-minded people and meet some cool people, meet some new friends, and you know, or just even a lover. Maybe some of you are looking for love and you're like, oh, if we have the same interests and we're studying the same thing, that would be really cool. So I feel like you guys are studying something, or at your job right now, there's some really awesome people there that you enjoy. And some of you here are breaking free from, you know, kind of like social anxiety could be going on here too. But you're very loved, pile number 2. Look at this. You're very, very loved here. And people do need you. We have abundance. Okay. So if your guys' job has to do with anything social or social media or HR or celebrations or wedding planning or parties or anything like that, anything having to do with helping others be celebrated or have a special day. I mean, I feel you guys are very hospitable, okay? You're very hospitable. And like, you may be a little bit of an introvert at times, but you're hospitable with others. You're welcoming, you're hospitable, all right? And you don't forget others' kindness either. When they're kind to you, you don't forget that either. Pile number 2, really nice energy. I mean, this to me, this to me feels pretty good. Maybe some of you cook, or you have some type of cooking business, or you want to do something like that, or cooking for special occasions, or I just see, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, the more people that you can reach and the more you can get out there, the greater this is going to kind of grow for you. But it also brings you out of your shell at the same time, which can be a little bit scary. Oh yeah, there it is. Fears. Face your fears and stop running from them. Ooh, I feel you, pile number 2. I'm kind of a hermit myself at times. And, you know, it's like crunch, you know, it's super crunchy trying to get myself out there, right? But Spirit is saying maybe some of you are seeing butterflies or doves a lot. And these are very nurturing symbols, right? And I think sometimes we have a lot of fears going into new situations. If we like being comfortable and kind of staying home, we get real fearful, like, oh, should I really do this, right? And Spirit's saying here, face your fears and put yourself out there. You know, you guys may have a tendency at times to get a little bit too comfortable, all right? And your abundance is feeling tied to this energy of celebration and enjoying yourself, okay? Work on the third eye chakra. All right, so Spirit talking about working on this third eye energy. So some of you guys may be healers, artists, you may be spiritualists as well, and you may get a lot about certain people and situations. You may receive a lot of psychic information, and that may make you feel like, well, if I'm out in public and I feel something and I don't like it, like, you know, this kind of energy, okay? So Spirit is saying, and I know how it is. I've been there, pile number 2. So Spirit's saying, you know, just working through those fears so that you can actually get your work out there, because people are going to celebrate you and it is going to bring you a lot of money, but you have to come out of your little cave of comfort. I feel, pile number 2. And that may have to be true for a lot of areas of your life, not just with business and career and what you're studying, but also friends, loved ones, romantic situations, you guys needing to kind of step out of your comfort zone and take center stage or get your work out there, okay, in some kind of way. We have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. Well, a full moon in Libra, that would be really nice to have during a celebration or a social occasion. And maybe some of you here do have Libra in your charts, but that would be nice energy. And a win-win is always good, you know? And so a win for you, a win for others, and a win for the planet, that's good stuff right there. That's what creates abundance, right? But if we're afraid of the energies and we're kind of locking ourselves away and we're not, maybe some of you are in partnerships and you just kind of want to be at home with your partner and you don't really want to be around other people, or maybe being around other people is tough for you, okay? But Spirit's saying, you know, this whole thing that you're working on right now and putting yourself out there and getting your work out there and letting other people see what you're doing is very, very good for you. It's good for them and it's good for you. We have patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order, okay? So you guys have had to be very patient about your abundance and building what you've been doing, all right? And sometimes it may feel a little bit forced, like you're being forced to kind of put yourself out there, and you don't want to, and you're just like, and you're having to be real patient with yourself. Or you've been working very, very hard at something for a long time, and you're like, when am I actually gonna like receive something for this, right? And maybe some of you have been working for free, which, you know, I mean, I don't work for free, pile number 2. I don't want you to work for free either. I mean, if you have resources and you want to work and you want to discount your prices or whatever, but I mean, one thing it's up to you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but somebody told me one time that, like at the time I had a full-time corporate job. I had plenty of money. I wasn't hurting for money at all. And so I wasn't really charging for readings at the time, and I would just read for whoever. And I heard somewhere that this is like very insulting, not insulting, but this is very like, you know, price cutting the market for people that are trying to make a living doing their spiritual work, okay? And when I understood that, it's like, it'd be like Walmart moving in down the street, cutting prices and putting, you know, the mom and pop store out of business, right? So value yourself accordingly, pile number 2, for sure. And it is a win-win, all right? And you've had to be very patient about this growth, because I feel like maybe it was kind of slow going at times, depending on what your mood was like and how you felt. We have coherence. The frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire. Okay, yeah, so heart and mind coming together in this beautiful symphony, and it's neither or, right? We need the mind, we need the heart. And hopefully the heart is taking the lead and the mind is like there to just help us along with what we truly desire, where our heart is. Yeah, so you guys, I feel you guys have, for some of you here, you may have wanted to change your work or change your career or go and do an idea that you had, or do your spiritual business, or turn a hobby into something that could make you income, okay? And maybe you question yourself about that sometimes. Should I? I don't know. Should I? And so Spirit is saying, you know, making a decision our mind is there to help us make decisions, but our heart is there to tell us what we should do, right? That's how it works. So we have card 14, going beyond normal. Okay, so definitely, and you can see the golden idea, right? And all these tiny little buttons that all look the same. And then there's this huge, like, golden idea, and it's about damn time. And there's a clock on her third eye that looks like a clock. And it's like, I've had this idea for a long time, and I've thought that this would work for a long time, but I've been patiently waiting for the right time, or it wasn't the right time in my life, okay? And it's getting to that point now where this idea really needs to, really needs to be manifested, okay? For the good of all, right? Not just for you, but other people need you too, right? So I want to look a little bit at this card of going beyond normal. Okay, it says, on the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic, trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. Just what I was talking about deciding to take a risk on something. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysteries and magic is a recipe for existence that is far too dry. Yeah, it's too dry. All these buttons, they all look the same, you know. It's too dry of an existence to completely discount the mystery and the magic. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose the juicier approach to life. You guys need the juice, baby. You are currently approaching such a choice point. Yeah, you're approaching the point here. You could say that the choice is about balance, Libra, win-win, okay, like I said. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it all unfold as it was. So getting out of your comfort zone, getting yourself out there, pile number 2, is really helpful to you. There is a time and a place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. There definitely is. And I love all that, pile number 2. I love a good strategy. I love a good plan. I love a good chart. I love a good Excel spreadsheet. I love it all. I love it all. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to, to take over our less rational mind. But equally valuable decision-making tools are intuition, feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing, the inspirational energy of the heart. I talked about the heart here with this coherence card. The inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basic in logic or reason, and it still can be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. Okay? So yeah, you are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work and a loose or even a detailed plan. Okay, there is a sense of what might work where a loose or even detailed plan, but how that plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There's no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition, okay? Yeah, so nurturing things into fruition, dove, peace, evolving, working on your third eye. Like the third eye being your intuition, talking about, stop overly planning things or overly... Planning is great. Sometimes you have to, right? But stop like ruling your heart with your mind, maybe is what I feel like, or just ease up on it. I don't like saying the word stop. It sounds so crazy, but just for whatever reason in this reading, pile number 2, I'm not just going to say stop, right? But it's more like balance it out, right? Because we have this Libra energy here with the win-win, the heart and the mind, but the heart definitely taking the lead to determine, you know, what it is that I really want here, what it is that you really want, what we want, right? And then after that, we can come up with a plan, okay? So let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see. Maybe sometimes these fears kind of holding you in a place. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. This is going to be your card for your reading. This is not answering any question. This is just the energy that you're moving into. Pile number 2, it's the Magician. It's the Magician. I don't know why things work, but they just fucking do, right? The Magician is very analytical too, and quick thinking, quicksilver, Mercury energy is very like strong, but also the Magician is very spontaneous. All right. My Gemini boyfriend is, you know, well, Gemini is the lovers, but when I think of Mercury, I think of the Magician and Mercury. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and he's very spontaneous, and sometimes it really annoys the Taurus me, you know. I'm like, what's the freaking plan, man? But anyway, you know, this is saying in your life, like you know, unorganized chaos is sometimes okay when we're trying to when we're trying different things, when we're being experimental, when we're just like, you know what, I'm going to try many different things. And it's not necessarily, and it may drive you guys crazy. You may be like, no, I need a plan. This needs to be worked out. We need to understand, like, for some of you, I feel like if someone's running late, it may annoy you a lot. Okay. Especially if you're a guy watching this, I'm just picking up on that energy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be guy or girl. But what you guys are working towards here is this Magician energy, right? Where it's like, yeah, I can change on a dime. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same way all the time. No, I don't have to stay in a situation if I don't like it. It's working on that spontaneous energy, okay? And, you know, having patience, maybe having a little bit of patience when other people don't fully adhere to your timetable as you have dictated it, right? Maybe having a little patience with yourself too, or having a little patience with your own abundance, all right? Because you guys are becoming powerful magicians, or you already are, right? It's just a matter of getting out of your comfort zone here and getting your work out there. So for my pile number 2s, are they on the right path right now, Spirit? Are they on the right path here? We have the 4 of Wands. Yeah, I think you're on the right path. I think sometimes people may question you or be like, why? Maybe they're like, why is this taking so long? Or you're questioning people. Why are you taking so long? Right? Depends on what side of the fence you're on. But, you know, people may question some ideas or things that you're doing, pile number 2, but I don't think to me, it seems like you're going with what excites you and sparks you. And even if you have to explain it to other people at times and you need to be a little bit patient while you're explaining it, I still think, yeah, I think you're on the right path. Okay. Just trust yourself. Pile number 2. I think you really are. And some of you may be frustrated. I don't have the results that I want yet, but you know, just, you know, stay the course with the 4 of Wands. Okay. So what's ahead? What's ahead here? What's ahead here? What's ahead here for pile number 2s? We have Ace of Swords. That's good. So if there's been communication that's been off lately with someone in your life, or someone that you're trying to explain, yeah, I really want to try this and I really want to do this, or even just to yourself, even your own self-talk here, like easing up a little bit. But I love this Ace of Swords for what's ahead. Cool new ideas and rising above mediocrity. Okay, pile number 2, rising above mediocrity. And you may ruffle a few feathers in the process, pile number 2, but it's better to do something and ask for forgiveness later, all right? I mean, not when it comes to like our partners and stuff like that in love, but I mean like your ideas and your processes, okay? Like it's better to just kind of And I think what lies ahead is you're just going to be kind of employing that whole attitude more. Like, it's better to just, if you've got an idea at that moment, it's better to just run with it rather than sit on it and go back and forth about it. It's better to just, if you have it, you might as well try it, okay? And you may be waiting for like the perfect conditions or everything to line up. And it's just, I feel some of you guys becoming a lot more spontaneous, okay? And let's go see, what should pile number 2 be doing right now, Spirit? What should pile number 2 be doing right now? Two of Swords. Okay, so yeah, and some of you guys with the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck, you may feel like certain decisions that you make may upset your family or other people around you or people that you work with, or that if you decide, hey, I actually have this other idea and I want to try that instead, right? It's better to just kind of go for it, like I said, than don't lament on what everyone else is going to think and what everyone else is going to do and how everyone else is going to take it. Sometimes you just have to trust it and go for it, okay? And what you should be doing right now is thinking about the win-win, because Two of Swords is Libra energy, right? So it's Moon in Libra. So there's some decisions that you need to make right now. And you need quiet. You need time to think about this. You need contemplation. You need, because I think, decisions that you make kind of may affect some other people as well here. It could affect your partner, for those of you that have a partner or a family here, and or just yourself. And yeah, and I think, what you should be doing right now is thinking about the win-win. Like, how could this work for me and other people, right? And I mean, I don't want you to obsess on it in pile number 2 in a crate, you don't need to obsess on it, but I do think you can stop for a moment and rest and think about it, like, how is this going to affect me? How is it going to affect other people? Ask yourself some questions. If it turns out like this, how would I feel? If it turns out with that, how would I feel? And then after that, you can make a decision. All right, Ace of Swords. Then you're going to be ready to just go with what you want to do. And when you make that decision, Four of Wands, you're going to be on the right path, okay? And, some people may not like your spontaneity or may not like what you did or whatever. But I also think for you guys, it's important for you right now to blaze your path and not seek approval from everybody else, okay? With the Ace of Swords of what's ahead, I feel like I want to tell you guys, just go forward with what you know and blaze your path, because don't try to justify yourself to everybody else. Spend a little bit of time thinking about it and meditating on it, but then after that, blaze your path, and don't over-explain yourself to other people. And certainly other people are not judge and jury of your life, okay? Okay, because you guys are harnessing the power and the passion of the Magician right now, all right? So in that sense, yes, you are on the right path, pile number 2. So it's just, you've had to be quite patient with this. But thank you so much, pile number 2. I hope that made sense. I hope it made sense. I felt like we were dealing with a lot of energy in your reading. So let me know if that makes sense to you. Sometimes I do a reading and I'm like, did that make sense to anyone, But thank you so much, pile number 2, and I hope that you found some clarity in that. Thank you, my friends. Hope to see you again soon. And let's go ahead and move on to my beautiful pile number 3s. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose this beautiful Labradorite stone, and today's reading is called Career and Studies. What do you need to know? So this may be about your work or your career, or what you're currently studying and what you're working on, or just things that you're learning on the side and studying. We may talk about mentors. We may talk about your path. We'll see what comes up, okay? Pile number 3, for sure we're gonna talk about your path, okay? And so we're gonna go through the oracle cards first, and we're just gonna see what energy is around with you right now when it comes to career and study. And then we're gonna take the tarot deck and ask some very pointed questions called, am I on the right path? What's ahead? And what should I be doing right now? Okay, so let's do it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please connect me to the beautiful energy of my lovely number 3s who came here today seeking answers, guidance, and much respect, much love, pile number 3. So thank you so much. And Spirit is showing me the Hierophant. So maybe some of you drew the Hierophant recently, or you like that card, or that you hate that card, but I am getting the Hierophant. Spirit is showing me that, okay? So let's go ahead and, yeah. I don't know why Spirit just said jolly saint, old Saint Nicholas to me. All right, maybe some of you have the name Nick or Nicholas, or you like the holiday, or I don't know, maybe you hate the holidays or you like the holidays, or some of you are in a jolly mood today. It is Friday. Hopefully you're feeling jolly. So let's go, or maybe you have plans around Christmas this year or around December. So, or maybe you have a birthday then, who knows? Spirit gives me things and then I'm like, thank you. Thank you, but what do you mean by that? Yeah, also Spirit just told me October visions. So maybe some of you guys have particular goals or things visions for this month of October that you're working with, okay? Let's go ahead and check it out. Ooh, we have the Celebrity and Sun. I lead with my light, charismatic, imaginative, luminous, confident, authentic, inspiring, passionate, magnetic, impactful, public, fashionable, independent, noble, generous, and unique. Okay, so something about your path involves you like shining your light out there, being charismatic, being passionate, being independent, and yeah, shining your light, pile number 3. So let's see what else. We have Orca and Records. So whale energy coming through here. And we have the Sun and the Moon. You know, I was just thinking about the Sun and the Moon because pile number 2 got the Moon card, and now you guys have the Sun card in pile number 3. So we have Union and we have Records in Union and Celebrity, okay? So interesting. Let's see what comes up here. We have Focus. So maybe some of you guys have been quite emotional, or you've just been like wanting people to have accountability with the records here. They're talking about the Akashic records, but I'm thinking of actual records, like wanting people to have accountability, wanting people to be true, to be honest, especially for those of you that are, and everyone's in union, right? We can be in union with our pets, in union with our family, with our friends, with our significant other, okay? So talking about accountability with all of that. We have Focus here for enlightenment. Stay in the moment, the Sun, okay? Chop wood, carry water, avoid distractions, meditate, bring unresolved issues into view, okay? So the Moon talking about what's more subconscious, and the Sun talking about what is conscious, right? So some of you guys, I feel like setting the record straight as well about how it is that you really feel about something. And I do think here you can see your focus is really intensifying at this time, all right? So I feel like some of you may be studying, you know, what it takes to make it, or what it takes to bring two things together, all right? And you're very focused in doing that. And for some of you, the work that you're doing is actually gonna bring you some type of celebrity, okay? We have communicate clearly. So this is super important right now for you with whatever you're doing. It's super important that you communicate your messages and that you focus when you're in the middle of doing something that's important to you, right? So communicating clearly and focusing here is going to help you. We have spirit guides, and they're asking that you connect with them. Your spirit guides here asking you that, and I think you guys may be asking your spirit guides to connect with you and communicate clearly to you what your Akashic records say about what you're really meant to do in this lifetime and how you're really meant to shine your unique light into this world, okay? Maybe some of you have been waiting for a sign, and then you're like, once I know what that is, I'm gonna get very focused and determined about what I want to do. But I've been sort of looking for the signs or reading the signs and wanting my guides to sort of communicate to me, you know, what it is here that I'm supposed to do. We have creativity, and let's get artistic, okay? So she's kind of messy too. She's got like paint all over her face, all over her shirt, like, you know, not being afraid to get a little bit messy or to try things. I also feel like Spirit is saying you're gonna find what's meant for you here with union, like the career, the study, what's in your Akashic records, the thing that you can really focus on. Maybe it's been hard for you guys to focus on one particular thing. Like, what is it that I'm supposed to do? Or, right? And the sun is about finding that unique solar power that makes us us and makes us shine in a way, you know? So Spirit is saying here, your fuel is creativity. Your fuel is also in a way like creative chaos. I feel pile number 3, okay? We have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius, okay? So yeah, you really do. This is part of what brings you into union with your life purpose, I feel, pile number 3. Is show the world the real you. Don't be afraid to look goofy. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're oversharing. Don't feel like you're not. People can relate to you, pile number 3. Don't be afraid of failing. You're not going to. You're going to communicate and focus. And maybe for some of you, you need to write sometimes, or you need times where you're quiet and undisturbed so that you can focus. And then you need other times where you can be out in the world and sharing what you know, all right? And there's something here about feeling like you have to do everything behind closed doors and then present this like perfect kind of glowing picture. And this whole thing of show the world the real you, creativity, let's get artistic, is letting people know more about you, about what makes you tick, about what you like, about, you know, being vulnerable, letting people see like behind the curtain a little bit and be a part of the process, I feel, for you guys, okay? And yes, there may be times when you do need to focus and you need quiet and you need to be a little bit left alone so that you can really focus, okay? But oh, you guys, this is why I feel like you're so driven to find out what your purpose is, all right? And there may be something around it, like if I can't focus, I'm not going to be able to like be successful. If I can't, you know, and there's some worry in those eyes right there. And we have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn, right? So if you guys were like, yeah, I was studying something and I did think I was on the right path, but evidently not, because Spirit wanted me to do something else, all right? Maybe some of you have already had like a complete turnaround in a way, you know? I feel like pile number 2 is on the precipice of a complete turnaround. And I feel like you guys may have already experienced a complete turnaround in your life where it was like, wow, you know, I thought I was going to do that, or I thought I was going to be on that path. And some of you may be being to your spirit guides, like, why didn't you warn me? And why didn't you communicate with me that this wasn't going to work out for me, or that this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing? And I'm seeing card 25 here. So some of you may have had this experience around 25. That's like, a lot of people call 25 the quarter life crisis, which is so weird, you know? Someone's only 25, but yet there's a quarter life crisis. And I remember feeling that way at 25. I was pretty discombobulated, and I felt like I was failing, and I felt like I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't know what to focus on, and I felt like I didn't like what I was doing, but yet I had to focus on it. It was just this weird thing, right? And so Spirit is wanting you to ease up on yourself too. If you've been like, God, you know, like, I can't believe that didn't go the way I wanted it to. All right. We have heart chakra. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. Yeah, so communicating from the heart, communicating clearly. And, you know, for those of you that have been blaming yourself a lot because, oh, I should have known better and I should have, you know, I can't believe I let that happen. I feel like Spirit is saying, you know, forgiving yourself for, not even forgiving. I'm moving away from that world. It's that world, that word. It's more like finding peace in your heart, okay, over whatever happened here. And maybe it was just this attitude of, well, I just want people to see the finished product. I don't really want them to see behind the scenes. And I know how that can be as a creator. I do know. I feel your pain, pile number 3, with that. And maybe you focus very intensely on things because you don't want them to be a failure. You put 100% of your heart into it. You put everything you have into it because you want to be really good, okay? And you don't want to fail people or fail yourself. But Spirit is saying, you know, you're really at your best when you're really at your most artistic and creative, when you just like let yourself go, you let yourself be goofy, you don't worry about other people watching you or looking at you or judging you. When you just are vulnerable and you're yourself and you're not afraid to get a little messy, like this is really the real you, okay? And that's good. We have card 42, the word wants to be written. The word wants to be written. So interesting. I feel some of you guys I was getting that energy with this focus card of writers, or maybe people that had writer's block and were very frustrated with themselves, or creatives who are very like hard on themselves when they get something wrong. Yeah, and Spirit is saying the word wants to be written, right? So no, things don't have to, as long as you put your best effort and your heart into it and you communicate clearly, it's going to turn out fine, right? Because whatever is coming through you, pile number 3, wants to be received by the world. And I'm just going to read a little bit from this card, and you can see the butterflies like coming out of her head, and it's like, and it looks like the mascara is streaming down her cheeks here too. And some of you guys may be feeling like your guides didn't warn you that this wasn't necessarily like that this was going to be very, the thing is that it was very transformational for you, pile number 3, but it created a lot of pain for you too. Okay, something about a path or a career or something or a project that you were working on that didn't go off the way that you planned it or didn't happen the way you thought it would, okay? So Spirit's comforting you here in this. And it says, you might have been taught that creativity is something you have to work hard to access, or that finding your life purpose is so difficult that you must search high and low for it. Yet what you are is within you and wants to come out at every available opportunity. It's just what I said. It wants to come out, you know, and screw being perfect, right? You don't have to struggle so much. It's more about allowing space for it to manifest, to let the energy flow. The real struggle is not in finding something. It is more about letting go of the idea that you need to search for your path in the first place. Yes, I was talking about this. You see, the process of activating your life path is a natural one. The effort is in getting out of the way, not in making something happen. As for being yourself, that is the foundation from which your true path will reveal. Being yourself, the sun, right? Being yourself becomes easier when you give yourself permission to love, honor, and accept yourself in all circumstances, the heart chakra, even if something didn't turn out or you're afraid of being a failure, right? We have that here. Being yourself becomes easier when you give yourself permission to love, honor, and accept all parts, especially the ones where you might be tempted to reject or judge yourself. Give the sacred rebel within the opportunity to decide your values, irrespective of whether they meet with general social acceptance. This oracle brings you to the message that what you are dreaming of or seeking to do, create, live, or manifest is actually very natural for you. It's so natural. Look it, she's a natural, okay? It's in your Akashic records. Your purpose is meeting with you. The conscious and the unconscious show the world the real you, okay? And yeah, this oracle brings you the message that what you are seeking to do is very natural, and that is why you want to do it. If you experienced controlling or manipulating forces as you were growing up, you would have found it hard to access your natural state at that time. You would have been too busy trying to adapt to get through the trials of childhood. I can so relate to you on that, pile number 3, for sure. When you finished navigating childhood and started to let go of what you were taught to be in order to become who you really are, you may have found your life path was not easily accessible. That is simply because your true and natural self was covered up by layers of shame, right? The sun is all about the solar plexus and stepping out of shame. And from early conditioning that you had to be other than what you are in order to win love or be acceptable, the heart chakra, acceptance, right? However, the natural self hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there within you. Now it's just about chipping away at the walls of shame, perhaps with a defiant, who the hell cares? I am here and I am going to love myself anyway. This allows you to risk bearing the feeling of any shame that arises as you release old emotional wounds and break away from any restraints. Okay, the sacred rebel within can empower you to love yourself no matter what. All right? What you want to write, sing, dance, or become is you. It is natural. Drop your defenses, get into the grit, and confront the power that any old shaming has had over you. It is finished now. It is time for you to be naked with yourself and acknowledge the gorgeous you that you are and get on with your work. Get on with it, pile number 3. Life is urging you to do so because the work wants to happen. What you want to create wants to be created. The word wants to be written. You just need to let go of any remnants of the past that have been in your way. Step firmly over them onto your path. Yeah, one of the hardest things for me to do on my other channel was to go live, and I did that recently, and like be on camera because I don't like being on camera. There's a reason why I only show my hands, and I was afraid I wouldn't be able to focus on the messages if I did that. But it was also from a deep distrust that I had in the past of sharing myself and sharing who I was with other people. And it was the scariest thing for me to do, really. I mean, and I've done some scary shit in my life. I mean, I really have. I've jumped out of airplanes and done a bunch of stuff. I've moved cross country by myself with practically nothing. I gave up all my possessions and left everyone I knew, you know, like I've taken some bold ass moves in my life, pile number 3. But you know, the thing was, that was recently, I would say, one of the most difficult things for me to do, but it was also so healing and rewarding. So talking about shame and talking about how the person that you want to be is already, like, you are that person. It didn't go anywhere. Your path didn't go anywhere. It's still your path, okay? It's just chipping away at it, especially if you were taught, oh, if I don't do this perfectly, I'm a failure, you know? And communicate clearly from the heart, okay? Your guides are telling you this too. Your guides encouraging you. And if you're wondering, what is my path? Your guides are saying, connect with me now, all right? That literally is the message there, okay? So you guys asked me, am I on the right path, all right? Am I on the right? Yes, you are. The Hermit, you are on the path of self-discovery. You are on the wisdom seeker's path. You are on the path of adventure and the deep inner knowing of who you are and what you stand for and what's important to you, pile number 3. You are on the road less traveled and you're fucking doing great, pile number 3, okay? So I just want to tell you that it might have felt lonely at times too, because the path that you're on, I mean, is more unique. It's more unique for sure. And we have the 4 of Pentacles here. What's ahead? Okay, so this, and she looks really comfortable here. She looks really, really comfortable, and she's asking herself, what's next? I'm not sure, because things feel pretty comfortable or safe or balanced now. And after a long time of searching, I think I kind of found what I like, but I'm not entirely sure maybe that it's it. Am I thinking too small? Some of you guys may be asking yourself that, being really contemplative. So I see you guys, there's another card there. I see you guys thinking, am I being too rigid, or am I being too inflexible, Or have I made myself too small in some situation? Do I need to expand my energy? Am I thinking too literally and too rationally? Do I need to open up my energy, right? So I think you're going to be asking yourself that, because you have been on this path. You've been on this path of learning and growth and self-discovery with the Hermit here. And it's been very interesting. And some of you guys are starting off on a new path because you're deciding that, I traverse this path and I'm thinking about maybe there's something else, okay? Or maybe I mean, this has been good, but maybe something else, right? And maybe you're a little bit worried about the 5 of Pentacles, because the 5 comes after the 4, which is failure. It's the Lord of failure, right? And you have failure actually the 7 of Pentacles is the Lord of failure, but the 5 of Pentacles is the Lord of worry. So it's worrying about failure, right? What comes in the 7 of Pentacles. But I feel like you guys are at this state now where you're like, I could go a little bit further, but I don't know. But because you might be worried about the 5 of Pentacles and worried about losing what you've put in or what you've done so far, or that it's going to fail or it's not going to be what you want, okay? But look at this. What's on the bottom of this deck is the 3 of Pentacles, which is, satisfying and fulfilling work. And look at this ladder and look at this knowledge. And she is very proud and dignified in this card, and she's holding a book of knowledge. And she's making it work for her because she knows what she wants, all right? So I don't see you moving into the 5 of Pentacles and moving into worry or failure. I see you moving into mastery, pile number 3, okay? And what should you be doing right now? You should be being the High Priestess, okay? You should be the High Priestess. And the High Priestess and the Hermit, I mean, that also to me could be, for some of you that are looking for somebody that is on a spiritual path, or you're looking for love, I feel like if the High Priestess was going to be with anyone, it might be the Hermit, because the Hermit and the High Priestess would just be in their own little caves, but come together when they wanted to, and when they wanted to share knowledge with one another. And what an interesting couple, but the High Priestess and the Hermit. So, but yeah, you're supposed to be considering, you're supposed to be deep in learning, okay? You're supposed to be deep in discovery. You're supposed to be deep in your heart chakra, getting artistic, uncovering the mystery, talking to your spirit guides. When I see the High Priestess, I think of our spirit guide, okay? Your spirit guide is right here saying, connect with me now, okay? So what should you be doing right now? You should be communicating clearly to your spirit guides what it is that you want, okay? Because we have communicate clearly, all right? And for some of you, the word wants to be written, so you should actually write it down in your journal in many different ways. I want this, and this is how I see myself, and I'm not thinking too small. I want everything, that can possibly come to me because of my efforts in a positive way, and this is what I want, right? And so, yeah, your guides are saying write down what it is and communicate it clearly, what's on your heart and what you want to focus on and what's important to you, so that we can help you with this activation, right? Because the High Priestess can be kind of passive at times, right? But there's a time to be passive. There's a time to kind of sit with that and think about what it is. But also this whole thing of thinking forever, right? It's okay that you're doing it right now and you're asking this question, but I don't think you're going to be in this kind of more passive state for very long. I think, what's ahead is you guys thinking about, well, I think I've gathered the information that I need now, and I think I'm ready to think about what my next plan is here, okay? And some of you guys setting off for a new adventure with the Hermit, something you've always wanted to do. And for some of you, the Hermit is also about studying and ancient esoteric mysteries, all right? With the High Priestess and the Hermit, there could be something that you really feel like studying, or you really feel like learning, or you really feel like diving into, all right? And if you really feel that way, then clearly communicate that to your guides. Make it come from your heart. write it down, and then, yeah, and start planning your next move here, okay? The Four of Pentacles is a very practical card. So it's like, okay, what foundation do I need to lay here to kind of make this happen? What money will I need? What resources will I need, right? And so I think you'll be thinking about that too, coming up here ahead. But yeah, I mean, I think you are on the right path as long as it's leading to more discovery and internally uncovering those layers of who you are. Pile number 3. And I do think you have an intense capacity for focus with the Hermit and focus here. I think you do. And communication with the Hermit and focus could be something about your life path, some type of communication, okay, that you're going to be doing with others, helping set others free as well. All right, getting out of this pain and suffering. Pile number 3. All right, my loves, I hope that that was beneficial for you. I hope that that helped you. And yeah, I hope that there was something there for you in that reading. So leave me a comment if that resonated for you and how you felt about that. And please don't be worried about failure, pile number 3. When your heart, you know, when you know who you are and your heart wants what it wants, the word wants to be written. All right. So thank you so much, pile number 3. And I hope to see you again real soon on your path. Take care.